This is the Washington Times front page for Monday, December 26th, 2022. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Congressional Republicans are preparing to prod the Supreme Court on its investigation of the leaked draft opinion of the decision overturning Roe v. Wade. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan, likely the incoming chairman of the House Judiciary Committee in the next Congress, has made clear he's interested in figuring out what happened. An aide confirmed to legal affairs reporter Alex Sawyer that it still remains a priority. Chief Justice John Roberts tapped Supreme Court Marshal Gail Curley days after the leak in May to lead the investigation. The court hasn't issued an update yet on that investigation. As shoppers have spent time searching online for the perfect Christmas gifts over the past few weeks, they've also shared even more details of their lives. Stephen Dinan reports companies use browsing and purchasing data to make sure their websites work properly for each user or to provide services. That can be helpful for those who don't mind that sort of profiling, but it sends others recoiling. Governments have tried to enforce solutions. The European Union has the General Data Protection Regulation, which is one reason for the proliferation of alerts asking about your preferences for cookies on websites. In the U.S., there's something similar, the California Consumer Privacy Act. It says consumers have a right to know what data is being collected and stored about them and allows a right to expunge the data. Gasoline-powered lawn care equipment is facing bans and restrictions to combat climate change while simultaneously assuaging noise complaints. Ramsey Touchberry reports California's statewide ban on all gasoline-powered lawn care equipment starts in 2024, including the sale of those products in the Golden State. New York City and Boston have considered banning gas-powered leaf blowers, while Montclair, New Jersey, and Burlington, Vermont have seasonal bans on leaf blowers. In Texas, Dallas is also debating a ban on all gas-powered landscaping tools. Some landscaping business owners say battery-powered alternatives don't compare because of upfront costs and inadequate performance. You can read all of these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also find the entire lineup of Washington Times podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan is shaking his head in disbelief as he prepares to exit the governor's mansion and end his 2 terms as a Republican running a heavily Democratic state. Mika Sellner sat down with the outgoing governor, who says the GOP is suffering the consequences of the Trump brand. Nowhere are those consequences more apparent than in Maryland, Hogan says, where the return of complete Democratic control of state government ushers in fears that runaway spending will eat up a budget surplus and a $3 billion rainy day fund. Among his accomplishments as governor, Hogan is most proud of job creation and economic expansion. He's built a coalition of support across party lines, a necessity to govern in Maryland, and his policies, including rolling back highway tolls for commuters, remain popular. And finally, Twitter internal documents suggest the FBI provided Twitter site monitors with CIA intelligence assessments. Joseph Clark reports the latest tranche of documents from the social media platform includes details that CIA officials were part of regular meetings between federal officials and social media platforms. The agency is listed as OGA, or Other Government Agency, in the documents. Some of the documents show that the FBI flooded Twitter with intelligence reports, drawing Twitter site monitors' awareness to assess foreign interference campaigns on social media platforms. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.